Let's get right to the floor show and our traders. Joining me now, Northwestern Mutual Wealth Management CIO Brent Schutte and trader Scott Bauer coming to us from the floor of the SIBO. Scott, I want to begin with you. You know, traders never depend on wait till there's clarity, because there's never clarity depending on which area of the world you're looking at. How are you forging ahead on your equity bets?
Yeah, and it's been real busy down here. This is the S&P 500 options pit behind me. And you know what, Liz? I've been fading the rally in these Chinese stocks. I think there's just a little bit too much too quickly here based on the reopening, based on, you know, the coming back from their Lunar New Year. And you've got these reports out of these casino stocks, very impressive in you know, Chinese people coming back.
Yeah.
However, I really think moving forward here, we're going to see a bit of a pullback. And I liken that to what I think is going to happen with Expedia as well. I think Expedia is going to report really good numbers for the last quarter. However, because of what's going on with inflation, because consumers are pulling back, and we saw that, you know, Mattel and Hasbro, right? People are just not buying those as much as some of those goods that they were in the past. I think we're going to see that with Expedia and some of the travel also. So I'm very cautious moving forward. And you hit the nail on the head. That inversion, that 210 inversion, which is now the highest in some 40 years. Yeah. It's almost 90 basis points. Okay. That is just signaling what the consumers are already doing, pulling back a little bit.
Scott, really quickly, we have just hit the tape on foxbusiness.com with a story that I was able to file. Sources are telling Fox Business and the Claman countdown regarding Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft. Of course, this was the huge story yesterday. If you look at Activision, it is powering higher on a down day, up about 3%. And the news is that sources are telling us, in the unlikely event that this merger does not go through with Microsoft at $95 a share or at all, Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision, will absolutely, quote, stay on and run the company. But they all have confidence, at least these people who are very close, sources close to the situation, that this merger will go through despite what the UK regulators filed yesterday, which was concern about competition. Is there a play here?
Yeah, I mean, you can look to buy those upside calls maybe 3 or 6 months out at maybe the 85, 90 strike in the hopes that this thing does get to 95. But on the opposite side of that, Liz, in the event that this thing does fall apart, Activision probably heads back to the $60 level. Right around that area it was trading, you know, a year and a half or 2 years ago when this news first came out. So that is something that I would be watching. If it does fall apart for whatever reason, I think it absolutely negatively impacts Activision way more than it does Microsoft.
I don't know. They got $18 billion in cash on the books. So we'll be watching it all. We encourage everybody to go on foxbusiness.com. The story about Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft, it's an exclusive. Check it out. Brent and Scott, thank you. We're coming right back.